Okay, it's now time for me, Heather Hawkins, with the SC250. I'll try to zoom us through this so we can get to some Q&A for today. A lot of people ask us about what is the sesquicentennial or the semi-quincentennial. Well, it is definitely going to be fireworks on July 4th, 2026. But we know that our commission set us up to be from 1770 to 1783. That's the time period that we really want to focus on. And that's important when it comes to what's eligible for our grants. And it didn't just happen anywhere, it happened here in South Carolina. And we have tons of locations. Over 400 battles and skirmishes and murders took place here in South Carolina, more than any other state except maybe New Jersey, but we don't talk about that. Grant programs that help that education and cultural tourism. We have given out 176 grants, and it's about $4.5 million already. We're trying to spread it all over the state, you see, by number of projects and by funding total. And this brings us to three programs that we have set up that are competitive. We have our monthly grants, which that doesn't mean you get a monthly stipend. Everybody wishes that was what it meant. That just means that we review them monthly. We stole that idea from humanities. We review them every month, so it gives you lots of opportunities to apply. So every month there's a new deadline for that. We like you to finish those as we're up to $15,000. So we like those done in up to 12 months if possible. And we do not have a required match for that. We also have major grants that are $15,001 up to $125,000. And those are up to 24 months to complete. We review those quarterly, and those do require a 20% match. The premier projects are $125,000 and $1 plus, and those are reviewed quarterly. And you can complete them way sooner than that, but we will sunset in 2033, so you have to finish them by then. And those are 25% match, and that's the total project match. So it's a 25% cost share for that, which is a distinction from 25% of your ask. So be careful with your numbers there. Grant distribution on all three of these, we send 80% up front because we know we've got working with a lot of organizations that don't have a lot of cash flow. And then we have the 20% at the completion of the final report and acceptance with all of the documentation. The types of grants, all three of those funding opportunities, we have these types of grants that fall under those. Museum and library style exhibit grants. And this is one from Jasper County that we have that shows all the different Revolutionary War places that you can go in Jasper County, and also talks about some of the stories like Jim Capers, who was an African-American patriot that we like to talk about. This is an actual photograph of an American Revolution veteran taken at the very beginning of the daguerreotypes. So the dawn of photography, and this is part of one of the exhibits over at the Confederate Relic Room and Military Museum, and that we help to sponsor. Local activities grants, we do local activities like reenactments, and of course that's Sumter there having surgery after the Battle of Blackstocks. And we have some lectures. We had the Charleston Tea Party event was one of our local activities grants. We've morphed one of our grants into what we call a Historic Tourism and Marketing Grant. Santee Cooper Country has put in for all of their counties to promote all the different things that are in the Santee Cooper Country. That's the regional tourism agency. And one of the data things that we love to quote is that according to the statistics, the cultural tourists spend 38% more money than your average tourist. So we definitely want to go after those tourists. All right, research, publication, genealogy, and digitization. We have lots of these. We have two websites that are just gone up for these two areas that have their own websites about the American Revolution. Education grants. This is one of our pillars. So, we like to have education grants. On one of the traveling trunks partnership that I love is that they have the library be the place where you can go check it out. So the teachers can go to the local library there in Anderson County. They already are used to having to check out things. Why not have a traveling trunk that you can check out as well? Signage and markers. We have tons of these grants that we give out, and site grants, all the way from planning to renovations, as long as there's added value. And this was some renovation and added value to the folks there at Breach Inlet. So this is part of the story of Fort Sullivan, Fort Moultrie. It's at the other end of Sullivan's Island, and one of our site grants. There are lots of other examples on our website, so check that out. And things to remember if you're applying for an SC250 grant, 1770 to 1783. That's that time period. You've got to fit within that time period. Make sure you have buy-in from your local County 250 committee. Every county has its own committee now. We're very excited about that. Demonstrate partnerships and matching funds, demonstrate a clear budget and thought out project plans, and think about the impact and longevity. If it's going to be a one-day event, can we make it annual? Can we do a template? Can we add some value to it? What's the statewide impact for this? And of course, telling a more complete story is one of the tenets of the commission, and telling those stories of African Americans, Native Americans, women, children, and loyalists in South Carolina. We want to thank PRT for allowing us to work within their system, the Discover SC Grants program. So you do have to apply through there. We have, again, monthly grants with deadlines every month, quarterly grants with major and premier grants. And we also do consultations, and we encourage you to join your local committee. So these are all the folks who will be glad to come out and tell you more about this, and we've got some of them here with us today. So thank you for being here. Some other resources, don't forget the American Battlefield Trust, who can help with acquisition, but also has a field trip grant, which I think is fabulous, because there are very few places you can get money for field trips these days. And we always remind everybody to say thank you to the folks that are here today. So I think that's it.